Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. If you deal with networking, setting up routers, or just love tinkering with cables, you need a good network cable tester. Today, I've tested and compared 5 of the best cable testers you can get right now based on performance, build quality, and real user reviews. If you want to see updated prices and more details about these products, be sure to check the links down below in the description box. So, let's get started. Number 5. ANENG M469D Network Analyzer Tester. Imagine this: you've just finished wiring up your home office, or maybe you're setting up a few computers in a small business. Everything looks neat and tidy, but when you plug in the Ethernet cables, nothing happens. The internet's down, the connection is unstable, and you have no idea which cable is causing the problem. That's exactly where this little device comes in handy. The ANENG M469D is built to test all kinds of cables RJ45, RJ11, and RJ12, so whether it's a LAN, telephone, or UTP line, it's got you covered. And it doesn't just tell you if a cable works, it shows you how it's connected. Each light from 1 to 8 lights up in sequence, letting you visually confirm that every wire inside the twisted pair is correctly connected. If one light doesn't turn on, you've instantly found an open circuit. If the sequence gets mixed up, it means you've got a crossed wire. And if the lights skip or go dark together, that indicates a short circuit. Basically, it takes all the guesswork out of network troubleshooting. And here's the best part: you don't have to be right next to the cable. The tester actually splits into 2 parts, the main unit and the remote unit. That means you can check connections at both ends of a long cable run. Plug one end into your patch panel or wall socket, and the other into your router or switch, then watch the lights do their job. It's perfect for both professionals and DIY users. Another cool feature: it has 2 testing speeds. You can switch between normal and fast mode depending on your needs. The S mode performs the same sequence check but faster, ideal when you're testing several cables in a row. Now, it doesn't come with a battery, so you'll need a standard 9-volt battery. Once you pop that in, it's ready to go. Some users mention that the build quality feels a bit light, which is fair, but honestly, for the price, it performs far above expectations. Most reviewers said it worked perfectly out of the box, provided accurate readings, and made their job much easier. One user shared that while setting up LAN cables for their home network, they plugged in the tester, switched it to on, and immediately saw the lights dancing across both units, confirming everything was wired correctly. Another person loved that it could check both phone lines and network cables with the same device. Of course, it's not flawless. A couple of users mentioned that the power switch doesn't always seem to work properly, so they just remove the battery when they're done. But honestly, for such an affordable tool, that's a small trade-off for how much convenience it brings. If you work with network installations, home wiring, or just want to diagnose faulty cables without spending a lot of money, this is a must-have tool. It's simple, effective, and reliable. You can literally see what's happening inside your cables without any complicated setup. So yeah, the ANENG M469D might look like a small plastic box with blinking lights, but trust me, those little lights can save you hours of frustration. If you've ever been stuck trying to figure out why your internet suddenly stopped working, this tiny tester might just become your new best friend. Number 4. TOOLTOP Network Cable Tester. The TOOLTOP tester isn't just another basic cable checker. It's like having a smart assistant that not only finds the cable but also tells you how long it is, if it's broken, and even helps you measure voltage and current all in one device. Here's where it gets interesting. This device comes in 2 versions, the ET616 and the ET618. The ET616 is already powerful, offering accurate cable tracking, mapping, pole voltage testing, and a noiseless digital tracing system that lets you find cables without the annoying background buzz common in older testers. It can measure network cable lengths up to 400 meters, perfect for large setups or complex wiring systems. But if you want to take it a step further, the ET618 is where the magic happens. It does everything the ET616 does but adds a built-in multimeter. So not only can you find and trace cables, but you can also measure AC and DC voltage, current, resistance, continuity, diodes, and even temperature. That means you can diagnose both network and electrical problems without switching tools. And yes, it supports cable length measurement up to 600 meters. That's impressive. What I really like about this device is how intuitive it feels. The signal is clear, the buttons are easy to use, and there's even a vibration alert on the EAT618, so you can sense the signal without constantly looking at the screen. The digital noiseless tracking feature is a real game changer. It filters out interference and gives you a clean, reliable signal, even in environments full of overlapping cables. Plus, the TOOLTOP tester includes a built-in rechargeable battery in the main unit, so you won't need to keep buying replacements. It's solid, made from durable ABS material, and feels sturdy enough for fieldwork. Now, if you're wondering whether you really need to think about how much time and effort you spend troubleshooting cables. Whether you're in a lab, a factory, or you're just a go-to tech person among your friends, this device saves time, reduces stress, and helps you work like a pro. Before you buy, here's what to consider. If you only need cable tracking and mapping, the ET616 is perfect, lighter, simpler, and efficient. But if you also need a multimeter for more advanced electrical measurements, go for the EAT618. It's slightly heavier, but the added functionality is absolutely worth it. Just remember, the ID mapping accessory isn't included in the package, so you'll need to purchase that separately if you want to identify remote cables. In short, the TOOLTOP network cable tester isn't just a tool, it's peace of mind in your toolkit. It turns hours of guessing into minutes of certainty. Whether you're setting up a new network, repairing an old one, or maintaining complex cable systems, this device will make your job faster, easier, and far less stressful. Number 3. TOOLTOP Multifuction Network Cable Tester. This is the TOOLTOP Multifunction Network Cable Tester, a true 4-in-1 powerhouse that combines a network cable tester, multimeter, optical power meter, and a 10-watt visual fault locator all in one compact tool. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this could replace an entire toolkit for network technicians, installers, and even serious DIYers. Let me tell you why this caught my attention. I've used plenty of testers before, simple ones that only tell you if a cable is working or not. But this one? It analyzes your cables. It tells you if there's an open circuit, a short, a cross, or even if your RJ45 crystal head isn't crimped properly. It can measure the exact length of your Ethernet, telephone, or coaxial video cables up to 600 meters. That's over half a kilometer. You'll know immediately where a break might be hiding. Now, the real magic comes when you start using its optical functions. The built-in optical power meter can measure from +6 dBm down to -70 dBm, compatible with ST, SC, and FC interfaces. For fiber technicians, that's gold. And the 10-watt visual fault locator uses a red laser that can reach up to 10 kilometers, so you can literally see where your fiber connection is broken. It's incredibly satisfying to pinpoint a fault that fast. But it doesn't stop there. The ET638 version adds a professional 60,000 count multimeter. So you're not just testing network cables, you're checking voltage, current, resistance, capacitance, continuity, diodes, even NCV for non-contact voltage detection. This thing can handle almost any electrical or electronic measurement you throw at it. And get this, it even has an engineering accounting function that saves up to 100 cable length records and helps calculate installation costs. I mean, who else thought to include that? It's like having your own digital assistant for network projects. Another thing I love, it's noise-free and anti-interference when tracing cables. You can quickly find your target line even in a dense network setup, without all that irritating buzz you get from older tone generators. Plus, it supports RJ45, BNC, and telephone cables, so you're covered for most systems out there. The display is a bright 3.2-inch color screen, easy to read even under poor lighting, and it supports 4 languages: English, Chinese, German, and Spanish, so you can switch freely depending on your preference. And the fact that both the host and receiver are rechargeable lithium-powered makes it so much more convenient. No more hunting for 9-volt batteries in the middle of a job. Now, there are 2 main versions. The EAT636, which focuses on network testing and fiber functions, and the EAT638, which adds that advanced multimeter function. If you're mostly testing cables, go for the ET636, it's lighter and simpler. But if you're someone who wants an all-in-one solution testing power, voltage, continuity, fiber, and data cables, the ET638 is absolutely worth the upgrade. What do users say? The feedback's been overwhelmingly positive. People call it excellent, very complete, high-tech, and great value for the price. Many say it exceeded expectations, and they especially love the build quality and the wide range of functions. One user even mentioned it feels like professional lab equipment, compact, solid, and easy to use. Of course, it's not perfect. One person mentioned the PO test didn't work for them, and another found the tone tracing sound a bit loud. But overall, it performs like a premium tester at a very reasonable price point. So, why should you consider buying this? Because it saves time, it reduces guesswork, and it gives you reliable, professional-level data in seconds. Whether you're a network installer, electrician, IT technician, or even a home user who wants to troubleshoot your setup confidently, this tool makes the job faster, cleaner, and easier. Number 2. NOYAFA NF8209S Network Cable Tester. This isn't your average cable tester. The NOYAFA NF8209S is basically 3 testers in one. It can test continuity, measure cable length, and even track cables using digital, analog, or pull modes, meaning it can handle pretty much anything you throw at it. Whether you're an engineer working on structured cabling or just someone setting up a network at home, this device is built to make your life easier. Let's start with what it actually does. You can test for open circuits, shorts, or crossed wires on both UTP and STP cables. It also measures cable length, originally up to 200 meters, but due to chip shortages, it's now accurate up to 120 meters, which is still more than enough for almost any job. And it's not just about distance, it tells you exactly where a cable fault is happening, saving you hours of guesswork and re-crimping. One of the best parts? It has 3 scanning modes: analog, digital, and PO. Analog mode is your traditional quick search, great for fast detection when there's little interference. Digital mode is anti-jamming, meaning you can work in noisy environments without that awful buzzing sound. PO mode lets you safely identify whether your line is carrying power over Ethernet, and even detect if it's AF or AT standard, super handy if you're working with IP cameras or access points. There's also a port blink function, which I absolutely love. Plug one end into your switch, and the corresponding port will blink on the switch or router. It's such a simple feature, but when you've got a rack full of tangled cables, that blinking light feels like a little miracle. And it doesn't stop there, it's got NCV detection, so it can sense live electrical cables for safer construction work. There's even a built-in LED light, perfect for dark server rooms or under-table jobs, and a Type-C rechargeable lithium battery that lasts all day. But what really sets the NF8209S apart isn't just the specs, it's how it feels in your hand. The dual-layer shell design is sturdy yet comfortable. You can tell it's made with attention to detail, not the cheap plastic you find in budget testers. And people who've actually used it have a lot of good things to say. Real users are saying things like everything tested perfectly, great quality, fast shipping, and it's a big upgrade from basic cable testers. That's not just marketing, that's real-world feedback from technicians who've actually put it to work. If you're considering getting one, here's what you should think about. Do you often test network cables or handle installations where you need accurate wire mapping and PO checking? Do you work in places with a lot of interference like data centers or industrial sites where analog testers just can't keep up? Do you want one tool that replaces 3 or 4 others in your toolkit? If you said yes to any of those, the NF8209S is honestly a no-brainer. It's not the cheapest tester on the market, but it's built for people who value precision, speed, and reliability. At the end of the day, the NOYAFA NF8209S isn't just a tool, it's peace of mind. You plug it in, get your results, and move on with your work, no second guessing, no wasted time. And that's what makes it worth every penny. Number 1. NOYAFA NF8508 Network Cable Tester. The first thing you'll notice when you pick up the NOYAFA NF8508 Network Cable Tester is how solid and professional it feels, but the real magic starts when you turn it on. This isn't just a cable tester, it's like having a full network technician in your hands. Imagine this: you're in the middle of a big installation, maybe it's your office network, a home setup, or even a small server room. Cables everywhere. Some work, some don't. You could spend hours tracing, unplugging, and testing one by one. Or you could just grab this device, and in seconds, you'll know exactly which cable is broken, shorted, crossed, or perfectly fine. That's what makes the NF8508 so useful. It saves time and removes the guesswork. It can test continuity, measure length, scan and trace cables, and even perform PO testing so you'll instantly know if your cable is getting power, which pins are active, and whether it's standard or non-standard PO. If you're working with IP cameras or PO switches, that alone is a lifesaver. But it goes even deeper. This thing also includes an optical power meter and visual fault locator, meaning it's not limited to Ethernet cables. If you work with fiber optics, you can check for breaks, bends, or bad connections easily. Just plug in, switch to the fiber mode, and you'll know exactly where the signal drops. And yes, it even detects AC voltage with a non-contact NCV function, so if you accidentally come across a live cable, it'll alert you. No shocks, no surprises. Plus, it's got a built-in LED light, which sounds small, but trust me, when you're working under a desk or inside a wall cabinet, that little light feels like gold. Both the transmitter and receiver are rechargeable built-in 15 mAh batteries with Type-C charging, so no more swapping AA batteries or worrying about running out of power mid-job. You just charge it up like your phone, and it's ready to go. Now, let's talk about real-world use. People who've bought this tester say it's lightweight, very accurate, and built to last. One reviewer mentioned that it makes life so much easier when locating a cable or doing tests. Robust, and the battery lasts a long time. Another said it's like having 3 tools in one, and that's exactly the point. It replaces your old continuity tester, your PO checker, and your fiber tester, all in one compact unit. Of course, it's not perfect. Some users notice that the digital trace mode responds with a small delay, so it might take a moment longer to find the signal. And one person mentioned their package was missing the headphones, but overall, everyone agreed it's worth every dollar for the features you get. If you're someone who works with network cables, routers, PO devices, or fiber, this tool isn't just convenient, it's essential. It helps you finish faster, stay safer, and look more professional doing it. So, before you grab another cheap tester that only checks continuity, think about this. The NOYAFA NF8508 doesn't just tell you if a cable works, it tells you how it's working, where it's broken, and why it's not performing the way it should. That's the difference between guessing and knowing. So, there you have it, 5 of the best network cable testers out there. Whether you need something compact and budget-friendly, or a professional-grade tester with all the bells and whistles, there's something here for you. If you want links to these testers or more detailed specs, check out the description below. And don't forget to hit that like button if this video helped you, and subscribe for more tech reviews and tips. Thanks for watching.